As part of our Diversity Week at Critical Engineering, I'm speaking with Helen today, who's our Divisional General Counsel at Critical Engineering, and she's giving us a few minutes to talk about some key topics. So Helen, how long have you been at IMI?
So I worked for IMI for 14 years. The first 10 years was in a group role, and then just over 4 years ago I got the opportunity to come out of the group role to head up legal and compliance for critical engineering and to have a seat on the executive committee.
Oh, brilliant. I didn't even know you were here for 14 years. So what do you think has been the biggest challenge of being a female at IMI?
So I think part of the biggest challenge today is the issue of unconscious bias. Obviously we are in the engineering industry, which is still a very male dominated industry, and IMI has existed for a very, very long time. In IMI, I don't think that there's necessarily any intention to act against diversity, but sometimes certain behaviours can be with unconscious bias and therefore have the impact of not necessarily including females in the way that we can, or we could certainly improve on. For example, by picking certain teams that we've always worked with, all through the recruitment process of recruiting someone like the recruiter.
Okay. All right. So we've seen the biggest challenge, or one of the biggest challenges. What do you think has been one of the biggest positive changes you've seen over the last 5 years?
So in IMI, one of the really good things we've done over the last sort of 4 or 5 years is a lot more training and making training really accessible to people all throughout the organisation. We've got some brilliant training programmes. So I've been through the leadership programme from IMI, and many other of my female colleagues have been through that as well. We've got another training programme being a great IMI manager, which again, it just makes it a lot more accessible to people in the organisation. That's been a really good development.
That's good. So this week we've spoken a lot about diversity, and we've had a lot of people from the building come and see our board. But why do you think this is important? Why is diversity important?
Well, the business benefits are clear, and there's so many studies that you can see that having a more diverse employee group does translate straight through to the bottom line. Also, in terms of corporate governance, many of the major corporates that have failed are, a lot of the reasons is because there's been sort of groupthink at the exec level, the board level, and therefore by not having people speaking up, it's led to failure. So again, I'm very much for having a more inclusive environment and encouraging people with different opinions to speak up, which has definitely got to be better for the organisation.
What would you like to see IMI achieve in the next few years?
So our diversity week this week has been great. It's been a really good success. We've generated a lot of interest, in the building, people coming up to have a look at the board. And I think people, really do understand the importance of diversity, and specifically gender diversity here. What I would like to see people do though is more actively engage with the topic. So actually, see more people taking positive steps in order to be able to make a change, because as I say, what we've done this week has been fantastic, but as a small group really in the division, in order to really make sustainable change, we need everyone in the division to be actively engaged with this, and that is really what I would like to see.
That's great. I'd like to see that too. And the last question, so what would you say is one key leadership lesson that you've learned during your career or time at IMI?
So you have to be true to yourself. I think, as I say, we are in a male-dominated environment in engineering here, but by trying to sort of fit in and be someone that you're not, I think not only are you not doing yourself any favours, but also the organisation is sort of losing out as well. So I think you've got to be true to yourself, and you've got to speak up for the things that you believe in and the things that are important to you. And again, that will very much play into the diversity initiative and mean that better decision making is happening, and the organisation is more successful as well.
Thank you, Helen.
Thank you. Thanks, Evelyn.